In this video, I'm going to teach you things about your memories that you probably have never heard before, and it's going to seriously change the way you look at memories forever. It's also going to help you work with any traumas that you may have and any of the memories that you're still resentfully holding onto from your subconscious mind that you may not necessarily even know it's there, so that you can completely make space for new frequencies and manifestations to come through. So if you'd like to know some of the highest kept secrets around human memories, please keep watching. Hello Starseeds, welcome to Starseed Energetics. My name is Ashtara, mission to bring you some of the highest frequency content, and that's a fact. And today we're going to talk about memories and how you can really alchemize and transmute the memories that you have. And if you're watching this video, most likely you've done so much work around forgiving people, releasing past resentments, releasing memories, releasing trauma. But when it feels like there's just so many layers more to go and you know there's another way, what can you do? You are watching a beautiful sunset right now from the window. I'm currently in Bali and this is a beautiful sunset. So I'm happy to have this as a very good omen that you are moving on. Sun is setting and the new paradigm is coming. This video is part of a 24-day transmission and activation intended for high-level starseeds, advanced starseeds, and extraterrestrial hybrids. When people talk about memories, and most people who have been on their spiritual journey generally have the knowing that their trauma and their memories and their resentment and their wounds are correlated with past lives simultaneously. And so it's not just about what happens in this life, but it's some sort of a past life trauma, or so everyone thinks. But here's the truth around advanced starseeds who may not even have that many experiences incarnating on a third dimension, incarnating on a polaric dimension, and incarnating on Earth in general. A lot of starseeds, potentially like yourself, are not here for reasons like many other people would incarnate here. So a lot of people are here to learn lessons, here to learn about karma. And there is a level of consciousness that transcends all those karmic cycles. And that's essentially where most of you are from. And you don't have karmic debt. I mean, you've ascended many, many times before. You've ascended so many times that you are here and you've descended here. So when it comes to the group of starseeds that came here without karma, who had to take on the physical incarnation, essentially what would have happened is that they would have most likely had a very difficult childhood. And that wouldn't be the case in the future civilization of our Earth, where maybe like 30, 40 years down the road, extraterrestrial hybrids can just come in without having much trauma. But unfortunately, at this day and age, the advanced starseeds and extraterrestrial hybrids had to have had very significant traumatic childhood and certain memories that are very painful. And as you have probably done a lot of work around healing your trauma, healing your memories, the work continues to evolve and there's so many layers. And so I'm here to offer a perspective that is going to kind of really bring grace to that process and alleviate a lot of these burdens off of you. The reason why this advanced starseed and extraterrestrial hybrids have to go through so much trauma is because if they don't have that, they will have no idea how to relate to the masses, no idea how to relate to the collective, and they'll most likely just kind of ascend away, maybe even levitate and fly away. We need to get limited to this construct and be able to understand what we are here to assist. Without actually experiencing it, how could we possibly know? So even though we don't have that karmic knot or that karmic entanglement, we have to learn what it feels like to have those karmic entanglements. And it's not a shade to any of the people who actually have that much karma. To be completely honest with you, I know that when some people watch these videos that I'm posting, they're going to be like, oh, you think you're better than everyone because you don't have karma. Like, it's really not like that. The perspective that I have is like, well, if I had that many incarnations here on Earth, of course I would have that much karma too. It's not about being personal or impersonal. It's like, some people just chose to experience that many incarnations here, and that's nothing to be judged for. But the same souls, if they didn't choose to incarnate here that many times, then they wouldn't have the karma either. I just happened to come from a place that I didn't choose to incarnate here that much on a soul level for specific reasons. If anything, I feel like the people who chose to incarnate here that many times deserves a round of applause. Like, how courageous is that? As you may have seen my responses around the astral field, I'm not a huge fan of delving into the dark depths of these muddy waters of creations down to the lowest level polarities. It's not something that I'm really engineered to do on a soul level. Like, some people are engineered to do that, but it's not me. So for me and other starseeds who are advanced level starseeds who mostly resided on these subtle planes and higher dimensions, we had to have had extremely traumatic memories, but still being that energetically open is going to be like having a microcosmic experience of what the entire collective really had to go through. And additionally, what's interesting is that people are not really aware of this. Oh crap. People are not really aware of this, but there's something called memory implants. And if you're an actual extraterrestrial hybrid, so this applies to the extraterrestrial hybrids more than any other type of starseeds. If you're a hybrid who's had multiple genetic experiments and splicing and genetic engineering by extraterrestrial groups, then it is highly likely that you have memory implants, so that you wouldn't have actually had to have physical incarnations and physical visceral memories, but it's almost like a virtual light memory implant. So in order for a soul to go through an entire incarnation is ineffective if that soul is already undergoing a series of hybridization. The most effective way is to get these memory implants. So they could be mental implants in the mental field, and they could also be emotional implants, or both, like electromagnetic frequency implants that kind of program certain impressions and virtual memories in your soul line that you don't actually have, that if you were to actually experience those incarnations, it would be quite ineffective for you to carry on that level of consciousness at the same time. So these are literally implanted memories. And if you understand that this is actually what happens and what you actually been carrying, you may have these flashes of certain memories that doesn't really make sense to you, or certain foggy memories of like that may come into your dream states, or just in a remembrance when you're meditating, or remembrance when you're tuning into a higher frequency state of recalling something. They will kind of click for you right now. And you may also have these very strange fears from when you're a child. Like when you're a child and then you encounter something, it gives you a very visceral reaction. And this could even come online at the later stages of your progression, like when you are already an adult and you may have this remembrance of like something causing a lot of anxiety and fear in you. So I'll give you an example so that you can relate. When I was a kid, I was extremely terrified of eyeballs like getting damaged, eyeballs getting hurt. And these are kind of like genetic experiment examples. So perhaps a lot of these implants come from the memory of, or implanted memories of, having something done within the genetic engineering context. Even like strange occurrences, and this would kind of feel like a timeline jump as well, where you feel like you've experienced something but it didn't really happen on a physical level, but it almost feels like you've experienced something and it would have happened actually like astrally. I believe those are just like echoes of implanted memories. And same with my eyeballs and all of that. It doesn't feel like an organic fear. It feels like a very strange remembrance. And of course, for a while, I thought like those are incarnations that I've had that had echoed. And the answer was no. Like in my intuitive knowing, there I didn't have incarnations where my eyeballs were poked out. And I realize now that it's like implanted memories that invoke a sense of fear. You could quite literally scan your life. You could quite literally, knowing this, scan your entire life for all the memories and trauma that you think you had. And a lot of them could actually be implanted. And the interesting thing is when you start to understand memories as energetics like this, they're essentially pockets. And even real memories that you have, they essentially function in a very similar fashion. Even organic memories are kind of like implants, especially the trauma part of it. So all the memories, like all the informational frequencies of the actual memories, the organic memories, they transfer to your Akashic field. You have your own Akashic record keeper, and it doesn't really hold charge in your personal field after you've integrated the experience, you learned your lessons, and there's been enough time that passes by for integration. The actual energetic field of the memories, the information, the frequencies, the electromagnetic charge of the memories go into the Akashic field. So whatever you have left are essentially like implants that you generated for yourself. And the reason why it's important to notice if you have like actually implanted memories from astral fields versus you generating your own, the good news is that both are very similar and you can clear them. Being aware of their energetic circuitry, being aware of their energetic matrix, and knowing that there's not that much charge around it, it's just kind of like these virus implants that are occupying your field. And when you transmute those implants, when you dissolve and transmute and release those implants, all the lessons are still integrated in you. So it's not going to make any difference if you just dissolve them. There's a deep fear in a lot of people feeling like if they forgive something or if they let go of an experience, if they totally like let go of the memories, as if they're going to let go of the lessons that they've learned, or as if they could not possibly bring that memory back when it's required. But the truth of the matter is, all of those memories are already in your bank of your Akashic field. And when it's relevant, you can invoke that into your field, kind of like you outsourcing data into a hard drive. You don't need to carry it in yourself. You can put it on a universal hard drive, and when you need it, you can retrieve it. And so I'm just letting you know that it's very safe to release and dissolve memories, and they literally all function as implants at any moment of the day. You don't actually need to be remembering anything, and that is life-changing. That is transformative thing to know, that you don't actually have to remember anything. And school systems kind of force you to feel like it's important to remember everything, right? Because all of the academic grades are based on memory. They condition this feeling as if you have to remember things to become successful. And if you actually know the truth around your human reality, you literally don't need to remember anything. You can invoke it. It's readily available for you when it is relevant at your invocation. So literally forget everything. Forget all the memories. Release all of them. They are literally like taking storage space in your energy like implants. I know that for a lot of people, this is just like a little bit too crazy, but this is just what I experienced, what I know. And this is going to help you tremendously into becoming the highest, the purest, highest version of yourself, which is pure awareness. And you get to live from that space. You don't have to remember anything. And when you especially program your field with the knowing that you are supported with the right information when it is relevant, then it becomes more amplified. Perhaps in the past, when you had mistrust around your own need to remember things, when you had mistrust around being given the right signs and synchronicities and informations when it is relevant, you may have manifested situations where if you forgot something, you get into a lot of personal trouble. But if try this in a new way where you know and trust and hold faith that you don't need to remember anything, but you're always given the right information and reminders at the right time. And of course, if you can't completely stabilize that belief, you have to give it time to integrate, but it's one of the deepest pieces you can work with. And the more you can release these memory implants, the more you can release these memory entanglements and live from a clean, clear field, the more healing you will experience than ever before. And you will witness the relationships in your life transform and alchemize to their highest potential for those who really mean something to you, for those people who are dear to your heart that you have yet to forgive everything for. When you do this exercise of truly releasing all of the memories and I will help you do that in the activation tomorrow, then you will see that you kind of give them a blank slate and you allow them to transmute as well. All these beautiful people in your life that you would love to keep a connection with. And of course, people who are not meant to be in your life, they'll fall away, no problem. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for your presence. And tomorrow I'll see you in your activation where I'm going to be clearing all of your memory implants. Bye.